This is going to be probably the most important defense for us to learn in this upcoming match. So we're going to be looking at either 1 or 2, doesn't really matter. It's the Icystun-Kujtimi defense. Now, as you know, this is okay because the bishop capture. So red has a few different ways of defending this pawn. There's pawn up here, there's pawn up here, knight here, and knight here. There's actually a specific response to each of them, believe it or not. Let's start off with the most common. Pawn goes there. You want to have the check. So what you do here, if it's check, then you move up. And one other quick note, he might do this. If that's the case, we're going to be looking at this idea. That way the queen cannot move up either pawn, because you have this dual threat. Because I saw him use that in a previous game. And with that, we'll do some corner play, probably. So if he moves the queen up here, I think this is the best defense. Now, queen goes over here. And like usual, is looking to move in here. So we actually use the same idea from our previous opening. And if the red queen is in trouble, then we push the pawn. So we continue like this, and thus if they try anything crazy like this, takes pawn or takes the other one, then we push, because we know this is coming. And this threat is just too good for blue and green. So that's that system. Now another thing that might happen, instead of moving the queen up, red might move over here. And of course, because this pawn is up, it doesn't really pose much of a threat. So I think here blue can just move over here because this is safe and guaranteed. This is kind of wasting time, I think. So another idea that I saw Icystun use is knight here. This is actually really strong, because now if the queen takes, well, the knight is guarding. It's a really nice post for the knight. So this is no longer really such a threat. Of course, it can be doubled with this, but what I see this one calls for is actually pawn push here. That way, the queen cannot come up. And I think this is very good. Pretty sure it's still a queen up. I think this is very good for blue and green. Because even though you have a check, no real way of exploiting it, push the knight, the queen has an open diagonal. So the third idea, what if knight goes there? Our idea. So here, push here for the check. Because if you push that pawn, bishop capture, not over here. Ouch. So check, queen up. Queen here, same threat. Now as blue you do that. And again, if the red queen gets in hot water, then you can move the blue knight here. So for example, same idea, right? And if they want to do something tricky like that, then you move the knight there. this is actually really strong, because not only do you have a check, but after you capture back, you have another check threat. And what does the king do? Red does not have the time to push this checkmate on green. So something I was looking at here, what if play continued for a better variation? Let's say you wanted to do this. So you were looking at that threat. And of course, if you capture, then you have that. Well, here it gets interesting. Because I think first you want to block off this knight. You don't want to see this kind of maneuver on blue, right? And so as yellow, I really don't know what to do. I was thinking that. And as red, there's another idea that I was playing with in the past. Just pawn push here, right? And then you have this very nice little maneuver. Here you move the blue queen there. And as yellow, I mean, it's kind of like a zugzwang. Not really, sure how you approach it. But, I mean, actually you don't capture. Pretty sure instead you have to capture like that. And you take, check, take, and blue and green are actually a little bit faster. Red cannot really get the threat in quite on time. Not to mention, because this knight is over here, pawn push, the double threat. Of course, I don't really expect the opening variation to really go this in depth for us. And of course, I'll have to find a counter to this defense, because it seems that this defense would also work against pawn push-up too. So those are the main ideas, depending on what red does this move right here. Another idea, of course, is to move there, and I'm pretty sure here you just move the knight up there. Because if you push the knight here, you can attack the knight. So I'm pretty sure you can't really do that. And I mean, if you do this, I mean, I guess that is also the other idea. You take, move out. So I like knight here because you can't really challenge it. I guess you don't really have any play, but at the same time, now you have this, like this weak square there. So I guess we could say the same thing about the original idea, that what if we do that here? Instead of moving there, you move the queen here, and you're looking at this weak square. So these are some other things to consider. Haven't really had the time to look at these in depth. Yeah, this is interesting to say the least. Yeah, this is real tricky. Real tricky. This opening is real tricky, just in general. Pretty sure you have to do that. Take back, you have the mate threat. which is why you probably don't block with the queen. Probably something crazy like that. But here I think green and blue are okay. You still have this idea, and you can even, again, do the, like let's say that red blocks, you can still have this corner play idea I had, which I think works out really well, because if you take back, free the rook, and you can do that because the queen is here as opposed to there for this particular tactic. So green has some nice corner play. So again, the two big corner play ideas, the big three corner play ideas that we found have been moving the knight in. Another has been protecting the bishop for an attack on the bishop. And finally, on the king's side, when you have a knight here and a pawn there, if the queen is not pinning that, then you can move this pawn up there, and you take back, and the knight can come in. And if you push the pawn, then the bishop takes the bishop. So those are the three big corner play ideas that I think will really help out whenever we need to have a delay on one particular side. So this has been a lot, and again, this is all new theory, but I think we're going to need this for our matches against Icystun. He will definitely be our toughest opponent yet, and I say that because this is going to be a very fun match. So, see you soon, Tom, and peace out.